Hope you enjoy everyone. Thanks for watching. This is Sullivan asking my latest review on Samurai Jack Season 5, Episode 9. And I know I'm recording this on the same day and posting it the same day that and we just got Episode 10, which was the last episode. But, I'll head the schedule, so I'm trying to do this as fast as possible. Anyway, let's get started. The situation, being as it is, Ashi and Jack, they just kissed, they just confirmed their love for each other. But right after they kiss, we got back to that part. Right after they kiss, they start acting weird, like for example, they start spit some stuff out of their mouths. Apparently they still have the ooze that's left from those leech looking things, and they tried to kill them, So they have kissing just so they can, spread, so, get the taste of the stuff out of their mouth. But they still like to kiss, And it's obvious they now feel for each other. They have their feelings now. Now their feelings are made even more accurate later on, even though they're still awkward a little bit. But it's obvious they made feelings aware of each other, which is a good thing, It shows that they really do care and love for each other. As things continue, they try to find a way to clean up, Ashi got some new clothes, stuff. Jack takes a bath, That's why I said bath. He uses the pipes outside. He just showers. Now Ashi walks in. Him, in the bath. It's not really a bath. It's not even really a bathroom. Just use the water and stuff, Jack notices something, only to see his key on the floor, or he gets dressed, Ashi finds a clothes, a sweater, boots and stuff. But he also notices, that talking to himself, seeing what his other self looks like, with the beard and stuff, say. Like, he's struggling with the decision. Can he love Ashi? Jack deserves love, After spending a half a century of his life wandering through the lands and dealing with all kinds of violent stuff, it's not time Jack found love in this world, he deserves happiness. If he can't, at least find, if he can't, end Aku and find peace, he can at least find some happiness. Although knowing Aku will probably try to rip that away. And that point will be made more later. The situation continues. It just continues. They eat together. They find food. These just weird snail cricket-looking things or whatever, just slugs. They eat. They both cook it. They eat. They say it's a little chewy. It's kind of funny how they both talk with their mouth full, especially Jack, knowing that those things are like, now, eventually they talk to each other more. Jack tells him the story of his past, what home was like. Because Ashi, the only home she knew was in a cave. So Jack explains his home, how he's a young prince, how he would see through the palace, see all the village, see the seasons change as seeing the white snow of the winter, the beautiful cherry blossom of the spring, the crisp leaves of the fall, tells him that. And Ashi asked him all kinds of questions like what about if there was a girl in his past. He said there was many, but no. But he thinks it's a girl. He means like girlfriend. Like no. Jack was only 8 years old, so he doesn't remember. He can't. He never had the chance to fall in love because of what happened, because Aku took his life away. And he spent all these years' life. He said, everything he loved, every happy thing that he has is now a memory, In fact, this is something that people should notice right now, but a lot of people should notice this. That's why I'm gonna go out and say it, and nobody's saying it. Jack reminds me of Batman in a way, and that's something that a lot of fans should notice too. He was a young boy who was heir to a vast empire. Like Bruce being Orient Enterprises, Jack as a prince of Japan, and an emperor. And their both lives were struck by evil, had their lives completely ruined and taken away. Over time, they trained to become literally the baddest man on the planet, and after years of hard work, become a total badass, and vowed to destroy the world of this evil that's plague, and will not stop until it's completely gone, or dead, in a way. The only difference is that Jack is not rich and Bruce is rich, Batman is a billionaire, Seeing this, Jack and Ashi, seeing how close they got, it's really reassuring, especially after their kiss, And now she feels sad for Jack, knowing that her life was exactly like his. Lost to everything and never knew what real love was like. But he did love his family and stuff. And one of the weirdest things, like this is one of the like big WTS early on. After spending all night together, sleep and she slept. As she woke up to find Jack is just gone. He just abandoned her, which is so out of Jack characteristic, which is so out of character for Jack. You know, and we find out later why he did it. Meanwhile, we got Scaramouche. He's running on. His body's literally what you call an octopus right now. And he goes to Aku's palace. He has to find Aku. How he's greeted like at the beginning like this large cardboard doll looking thing. It's kind of like how you order McDonald's or fast food chains. You get a last guy mannequin of the mascot like. It just tells him that he doesn't have time for appointments, but he doesn't listen. He summons Aku. Aku listens to him. He tells Aku that Jack lost his sword. Aku says, "You better not be lying," and Scaramouche says, "I bet my life on it." Yeah, Aku's happy. He restores Scaramouche's body. And the dude starts doing this silly dance, this silly dance. It's obviously that Aku has literally gone bored in these 50 years, because he's never battled Jack again since he eradicated the last of the time portals, It's obviously he's never battled Jack, before his descent to madness, Later we get Jack, It seems that he's walking through through the desert, but it's also like he's entering some kind of valley. And I recognize the valley. Hey, all these giant robots dead, destroyed and rotting. This is the valley. This is the same valley where Jack, went to find the time portal. Oh, and this is from the episode Jack and the Traveling Creatures, where he fought against the Guardian, aka Blue Morpheus, played by Kevin Michael Richardson. And fun fact for you guys. And also, we get to see the glasses of Blue Morpheus, on the floor, That's if you guys want to call him Blue Morpheus, that's just the nickname, and fans came up with, like new nickname, like the memes, Seeing his sunglasses out of the fountain, does that mean that Aku has gone to this time portal? And remember, that time portal also showed Jack is not ready to use the portal, but it let him go. Like saying Jack will come back and use it again. We also got a glimpse into Jack's future that was way on. Him as this warrior king with all kinds of battle scars and long beard. Here, In fact, that kind of image was actually made into a comic book series. Fun fact for you guys, if you guys want to look for it. Samurai Jack comic book series that was made after the series got canceled. You guys should look at that. We get to see that Ashi, finally catches up with Jack. Say, why did you just leave? He say, I don't want you to be another memory. But she's not going to leave. She wants to stay with Jack, And Ashi's a capable warrior. She can handle herself. Hell, she could compete with Jack. I mean, that doesn't mean that she's going to die right away. However, just as they're trying to feel the reunion, trying to come back together, the voice saying, Samurai Jack. Sorry I did it like that, Just try and make, him and Scaramouche, they both show up. They laugh, and cheer, calls Jack a fool, because the fact that Aku came because Jack lost his sword means that he's more vulnerable, and Jack lost his sword years ago, but now he doesn't know, he got it back, Just as Aku was trying to enjoy a moment, Jack whips out his sword. Aku leans back, like how he stares at Scaramouche, and Scaramouche's like, I don't know, and stuff, and he just blows his head off, We don't even get to see the laser just strike his, hey, it's just his head just blows off, That's what happens when Aku is, very irritated. I mean, he's practically a godlike being, So it's possible he can, blow somebody up just by thinking about it. I mean, he's made people, he can shoot laser beams from his eyes, shapeshift, morph, and melt stuff, so it's not surprising he could just blow somebody's head off, But Scaramouche, he kind of deserved it, Oh, I would say he was killed in a less different way, It was so abrupt, And it would have been better if he got killed in the last episode, at least for me. And him being played by Tom Kenny was awesome, Anyway, hey, after Aku kills Scaramouche, he tries to leave, saying, sorry for the interruption, I'll leave you cute kids alone. And then he smells something. He notices something about Ashi, that Ashi has a piece of him inside him. And then he remembers that she's his daughter. Like Ashi is literally the daughter of Aku, you know. I mean, it was all kinds of speculation saying, how did this happen? Rumors were spreading that Jack was the father. That was Aku, father. But now we know it's actually true. Apparently, when Aku visited the daughters of Aku years ago, the cult, he left behind a piece of his essence behind a cup. Up the high priestess drank the cup. She got pregnant and gave birth to the 7 kids. You know. Oh, and that's how it happened. You know. And because of this connection, Ashi is now being controlled by Aku. Like he can manipulate her body. That means she's half human, half pure evil, and that's just in the literal form. Aku, you know, completely like is her father. Kind of like the whole "I am your father" Darth Vader stuff, you know, Star Wars, you know. So I'm trying to do as best reference as I can. Seeing how they handle the situation, you know, Aku literally takes over like even puts he traps her in all kinds of goo and like puts her as like his miniature image of herself, you know, with the horns and flaming eyes and everything, you know. He even gives her wraps her sword as a flaming sword, you know, like with his fire. The two try to fight. Jack tries to defend himself, but not trying to hurt Ashi too badly. He cuts her with the sword, and for a moment, Ashi he retains to her super health, and Ashi Jack to try to kill her, but Jack doesn't want to kill her. I mean, he's already lost so much. He doesn't want to lose the woman he loves now. Unfortunately, unable to strike her and unable to withstand this, Jack surrenders, drops the sword, and Atu takes the sword, finally claiming victory over the samurai. Or is it? Remember, there's just one episode left, and I'll do a review on that as soon as I can. Man, I've got like a whole bunch of other stuff that I need to review on, you know, Attack on Titan, and, you know, Boruto. It was a good episode, you know, and this is just the last episode. This is just the second to last episode. The last episode is going to be even better. Anyway, that's all I got to say. Hope you enjoyed the intro, the comment, subscribe. Thank you to the 11 Hours. Give a view on Samurai Jack Season 5, Episode 9. I'm out. See you guys next time.